gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Peabody, the South's Grand Hotel. Southern novelist David Cone once wrote, "The Mississippi Delta begins here in the lobby of the Peabody Hotel," and that phrase is as true today as it has ever been. The Peabody's history began back in 1869, just a couple of blocks from here at Main and Monroe. Colonel Robert Brinkley was our founder, and he had set out to build the finest hotel the Mid-South had ever seen, and name it the Brinkley House. Now, he succeeded on that first point, of course, but just before the grand opening, his good friend Mr. George Peabody passed away. Mr. Peabody was not just a good friend of the owner, he was also known as humanitarian and philanthropist, and it was in his honor that the name was changed at the last minute from the Brinkley House to the Peabody Hotel. Now, the Peabody has always stood as a symbol of Southern hospitality and elegance, and it was so at Main and Monroe until 1923. It had been decided that we needed to expand and relocate to here, 149 Union Avenue. So after 2 years and about $5 million in construction, on September 1st, 1925, Peabody reopened its doors to the beautiful hotel we stand in today. The Peabody has also served as a social center here in Memphis. We have played host to countless weddings, proms, parties, and celebrations. Many of those, of course, hosted on the beautiful Peabody rooftop, where we have a gorgeous view of downtown Memphis and the Mississippi River, as well as the Royal Duck Palace, the lavish livings of our fine feathered friends. If you'd like to visit us on the rooftop or visit the Royal Duck Palace, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to. Hop into the elevators after about 11:30, hit S for Skyway, then take a right out the double doors. On the way back down, or while we're waiting for the rooftop to reopen after 11:30, I encourage us to visit our memorabilia room. It's up here on the mezzanine, just above the gift shop, and in there we have artifacts and stories unique to the Peabody's history. We have portraits of presidents and stars who have graced our halls. We have played host, in fact, to every president since Harry Truman here at the hotel. We have a piece of Elvis Presley's original RCA contract, which was negotiated, typed, and signed here in this very lobby. But of course we have my favorite artifact, a memo, written by our general manager regarding the menu over at Chez Philippe. It explained that we could have absolutely no duck served on any menu here at the hotel. And ladies and gentlemen, we're of course here to see the march of the Peabody Ducks, but we haven't done so before. It may surprise us to learn that our whole tradition here got started with a bit of a practical joke. In 1933, our general manager, Mr. Frank Scott, and his friendship were out hunting in Arkansas. They had brought in, of course, some live duck decoys to help them hunt. They also happened to bring with them some Jack Daniels to help them keep warm. So the gentlemen focused a bit more on the Jack Daniels, never quite got around to hunting, and so were surprised when they returned to the hotel and found that they had forgotten to leave their 3 English call ducks back at the farm. So they improvised, snuck them into the hotel lobby, and let them loose into our town instead. Their deed done, the gentlemen retired to their rooms for the night. But when the general manager came back down the next morning, all he expected to hear about were stories of the staff chasing the ducks around the lobby, getting them out of the hotel. But what he found was that the ducks had actually stayed in the fountain the entire night long. They never hopped out, flashed about the lobby, or waddled off to see sights here in Memphis, and a crowd of guests had gathered around and they were gawking at the ducks. And the general manager ran over here to call. Said everything was cleaned up right away, people wouldn't see ducks here ever again. But the people protested. They said no, they loved the ducks. They then suggested that instead we let them stay as our guests. So ladies and gentlemen, we have continued to honor that request, for we have had ducks as permanent residents here at the hotel for the past 80 years. Then in 1940, we had a gentleman join us, a bellman, Mr. Edward Pembroke. Mr. Pembroke was a retired animal trainer for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, and he told us, if given the opportunity, he could train our North American Hounds to march across the rooftop, ride down the elevators, and then march down the red carpet into our lobby fountain every morning at 11 o'clock. There they would stay until 5 p.m. We would usher them out of the fountain, march them back up the red carpet, up the elevators, and back to their rooms. And Mr. Pembroke proposed this to management, and they were skeptical, of course, but they told him that if he could figure that out, they'd let him march ducks for as long as he'd like. Mr. Pembroke went on to march ducks with us here at the Peabody for the next 15 years. He also took the ducks all across the country, They were on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. They were featured in People magazine. He and the Ducks even made a very special guest appearance on Sesame Street for National Rubber Ducky Day. Mr. Pepper did so much for the hotel, but especially for our Ducks when he was named the world's first Duck Master. My name is Anthony. I'm actually only the 5th Duck Master since 1940, and in just a few moments it'll be my honor to continue our tradition here for you. To the King Cotton March, I'll usher the Ducks across the rooftop. We'll ride down the elevator, but at precisely 11 o'clock, the music will roll, the doors will open, and the Ducks will march. I do ask, ladies and gentlemen, that if we are here by the red carpet and the entrance to the elevator, that we keep those areas clear, and please also resist the urge to reach out and pet the Ducks. They are wild animals visiting with us after all. But finally, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, please take as many flash photos as you like. You are all guests of us here at Dance Peabody, and this march is for you. On behalf of the ladies and gentlemen and Ducks here at the hotel, I thank you for joining us. I'll be right back at 11 o'clock. For everyone here, especially keep an eye on these numbers up here. We're going to go from the Skyway to the lobby. The music will roll, and the Ducks will march. We'll be right back. Here, sir. Al, you want to come with?
No, I'll catch you on the
Okay. Hi, how are you, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. How up, shall we?
Oh, absolutely.
Good morning. Yeah.
Can I help you with anything?
Just look around and capture some pictures.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Don't mind a few, but not just a few, okay?
Okay, all right, thank you. We're waiting for a real duck.
Yeah, real ducks. Real ducks. So what'd you go to the Peabody for? To see the ducks.
Right, right.
Because Elvis has left the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and your attention, please. Welcome to the historic Peabody Hotel. At the center of the grand lot, the point where the Mississippi Delta has been set to begin, stands the classic Peabody monument, carved from one piece of that entirety metal. Oval base, sunlight, the monument is very long. You will witness a vision beyond the 1930s of the South Grand Hotel, an experience you may enjoy.
All right, Dickies. Allons-y.
Allons-y.
Hello. Hey, wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, especially boys and girls, come on up here. All right, this way. Ladies and gentlemen, the March of the Peabody Ducks. We thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Good job. I'll let you all go.
Okay, I gotta pick our ducks. Then we'll go back and hang by the pond.
Find Charlotte. Take a picture.